Welcome back again to our AP Statistics Summer Workshop. This is a tutorial on how to enter data into a list in your TI 83 or 84, how to use the list to calculate the mean and median, and how to use the calculator to create a display of a histogram of your data. Today's tutorial, though, is going to be how to create a box plot. We're going to start with turning our calculators on again. Go to Stat, Edit, List 1. Now, List 1 should contain all the ages of the United States presidents at the time of their first inauguration. This is at the top of page 4 of your worksheet. We entered that in our last tutorial video. If you've cleared that data out, then please pause the video right now and re-enter all the data. Remember, you're going to end up with a total of 43 items in this list, and go ahead and enter that right now if you have not done so. Alright, once you get all the data entered into list 1, let's go ahead and hit second, quit. That'll bring us to the main display window, and we're going to create a box plot of the ages of all the US presidents. But before we do that, let's review a few things. Remember, I mean, this was one of our earlier videos, and in the last video we also did, if you hit stat, calc, 1var stat, and then on list 1, it will calculate for you the mean of that list, and our mean is about 54.8. But let's arrow down, because we have some, we finished this summary of data, or I'm sorry, this one variable statistical summary with some interesting information here. We know where to find the median, it's right here, but notice it'll give us a total. It ends this summary with 5 numbers. It ends with the minimum of the list, which is 42, the maximum of the list, which is 69. In other words, the youngest president was inaugurated at the age of 42, which I believe was Teddy Roosevelt, and the oldest president who was inaugurated was, I believe that was Ronald Reagan. We have the median, that's the median age. Remember, we find the median by arranging the data in the list from least to greatest. And then if we have an even number of data in the list, we take the average of the 2 middle items. Or if there's an odd number of items in our list, we simply choose the middle item. And that median value divides our list into a lower half and upper half. And then Q1 stands for the first quartile. The first quartile is the median of the first half, and Q3 is the third quartile. That's the median of the second half. So with these 5 numbers, if we're doing this manually, we'd use these 5 numbers to create a box plot. Let me show you how the calculator will do it for you. If you hit second quit, if you hit clear and then hit second y equals, that would be your second, your statistical plots. In plot 1, notice we have plot 1 turned on. All the others are turned off. Make sure you only have the plot turned on that you're going to use at the time. Hit enter to activate plot 1. It's on. Right now, it's in the mode to create a histogram. But what we want to do is create a box plot. We've got 2 box plot icons down here. The first icon is the one that we're going to be using most often. This first box plot will display outliers of your list. The second box plot will not. And there's a need to do it either way. We'll talk about the various times when it would be appropriate to use this icon and when it would be appropriate to use this icon. But for right now, we're just going to use the first icon here to create our graph. So we're going to highlight that icon with our flashing cursor and hit enter. Our X list is still going to be list 1, and the frequency, make sure that's always turned to a 1. And then these marks, you have an option here. You can use this as a mark, or you can use the plus sign as a mark, or you can just use a dot as a mark. And what these marks do is when there's an outlier in your list, the outlier will be identified with one of those 3 marks. So I prefer this mark, and if you want to use the plus sign, that's fine. Just keep in mind though, this last symbol, that dot, is really kind of hard to see, so I don't recommend you use that. But if you do, just make sure you're looking for it because it's hard to see. And our code, our command, that is, to create any statistical plot is zoom 9. So just hit zoom 9, and you've just created your first box plot on your TI-83 or 84. Just like in your histograms, we can utilize the trace key to trace these values. Remember when we did a one-variable statistical summary, and in that statistical summary we were told that the minimum value was 42. Well, notice where my spider cursor is. It's all the way to the left, and it's telling me that the minimum value is 42. If you arrow to the right, this bar right here tells me that Q1, that is my first quartile, is at 51, just exactly like the 5-number summary I got when I did a one-variable statistical summary. Arrow to the right one more time. This bar represents your median. It has a value of 55. We had determined that earlier. There is no surprise there. If you arrow to the right, Q3 has a value of 58. If you arrow to the right twice, because remember, this value all the way to the right is an outlier. That's why it has that type of a symbol out there, but it's still our maximum value. Our maximum value is 69. So that is, you should see the relationship then between our 5-number summary and a box plot representation of the distribution of the data. And I want you to practice these commands. And if you would like to challenge yourself, find a data list someplace. Or if you email me, I'd be happy to create a data list for you. And you can create another box plot. And you can play with creating it and checking for outliers. All right, thank you.